After going on an absolute tear over this past month, up 117%, the SUI token is finally consolidating here and pulling back on the day very minimally, only down about 1.5%. However, this is a little bit weird as it comes at a time where the rest of the market is ripping. We have Bitcoin above 65K, Ether above 2,600 bucks, both up 6 to 7% respectively, and many altcoins putting in much bigger gains than that. Now, this could have something to do with the fact that earlier on Twitter, somebody actually accused the SUI Foundation of selling tokens into this rally, and we did get an official response from the SUI team, which we are going to break down in today's episode of the Everything Crypto Show. Now, before we hop into the content, just a friendly reminder that I am not a financial advisor, nor do I offer any sort of financial advice on YouTube. I am simply here for your crypto news and entertainment purposes. And if you do find the videos informative and entertaining, please consider hitting that sub and like button, and I do appreciate all of the support on the channel. So without further ado, we're going to get right into today's altcoin of discussion, and that is going to be the SUI token once again. We have been covering this altcoin a lot more frequently on the channel as there's just been a lot going on in terms of its ecosystem and the price action, which has been really impressive over the past month. The first time we actually covered SUI on the channel was back in September here, when it was just around $1, and from that zone it is up about 117%. And I do believe that this altcoin has a lot more potential to run for this bull cycle. However, interestingly enough, as noted at the beginning of the video, we actually have SUI consolidating here down about 1.85%, which is really nothing for crypto. The thing that makes it a little bit abnormal is that it's happening on a day where the rest of the market is bright green. And, considering the fact that SUI is up over double on the month while Bitcoin was pretty much chopping sideways, this could just be some consolidation and money flowing from SUI into some of these alts here that are now moving today. However, we did see a very interesting tweet actually come out from @LightCrypto, basically accusing insiders of selling. And SUI did respond to this, which we are going to break down in this video. But first, I do want to just provide a general market overview as Bitcoin looks like it is potentially finally trying to break out of this downtrending channel that began in March. So if we zoom in here, we can see that the downtrending channel actually sat at about 65K. Bitcoin broke above that as it is now at 66K. And the next area of resistance, if Bitcoin does want to continue on this uptrend, I believe would be at the $69,000 mark, which is the 2021 all-time high. And that's where I think Bitcoin would see some resistance. And then above that, it would be this cycle all-time high sitting at about 73.8K, 74,000. If Bitcoin does break back down below this level of, or just below this downtrending channel here, the first area of support that I'm looking at is the $59,000 zone, which has acted as some support here during this downtrend. And then below that, we'd be looking at, or I'm personally looking at about the 52K level. However, I have stated on the channel, I do believe we are entering the phase of the market where altcoins begin to outperform Bitcoin. And if we take a look here at the altcoin market chart, so this is the total crypto market cap minus Bitcoin and Ether, you can see here that it is already broken above the downtrending channel. It is just trying to break above this area of resistance at 629 bill. Currently sits at 625 bill. So if Bitcoin wants to make a run here and altcoins break above this level of resistance, I do believe that we could see a much bigger rally for Q4. And that's really it when it comes to Bitcoin and the general market overview. I do want to spend most of this video just focusing on SUI, as we saw a really interesting tweet come out here from LightCrypto. So he says, one thing that I found more and more baffling in the last few weeks is the vertical ascent of SUI, with it quintupling off of the lows. The market is starved for winners and believed it has found one here, yet it all feels awfully chintzy for two reasons that I think feed into each other. Yeah, he talks about buying SUI at a 23 billion fully diluted valuation. And as you can see right now, its market cap sits at 6.25 billion, but that is with 2.768 billion SUI tokens unlocked. If all 10 billion were unlocked, that puts its fully diluted valuation at that number here, 22.61 billion to be exact. He's talking about a valuation just a valuation metric compared to Solana. Now, what he says, which is more interesting in my opinion, and something that was disproven, which we will break down in just a couple of minutes, is that insiders, including what is largely or likely a large foundation wallet, have sold 400 million tokens throughout this run-up. And he does have an infographic here. He says they had already begun selling material amounts at much lower prices and are accelerating their selling at these more elevated levels. It does not bring comfort that the people building this ecosystem, the people who arguably know this token's value best, are unloading hundreds of millions of dollars of token into less informed buyers chasing momentum. Some of us have learned, whether now or later, as with most of these games where retail buys from insiders, there is only one ending. And he basically shows his infographic here of what he is claiming are likely to be SUI Foundation wallets actually selling into this rally. Now, we did see the SUI team actually respond. So following an allegation of SUI insiders selling 400 million in tokens throughout this run-up, SUI Foundation would like to respond directly to this individual. Number one, no insiders, neither employees of the foundation or Miston Labs, including the founders, nor investors, have sold 400 million worth of tokens during this period, either individually or combined. Insiders have not been involved in any preemptive selling or violation of lockups and the circulating supply schedule. 2, while the poster did not provide the wallet address, we believe the likely owner of the wallet is an infrastructure partner who owns tokens under a lockup schedule. All token lockups are enforced by qualified custodians and continuously monitored by SUI Foundation, and this partner is in compliance. So just for some context here, if we actually go to token unlocks, you're going to understand, how the SUI token is being allocated. So at the moment, there's 10 billion tokens in total, 2.768 billion are in circulation, meaning that 27.63% of the float has been unlocked. And yes, there is still 72.37% of the supply that has not yet hit the markets. And they actually do also have their unlock schedule over here. So you can see that this is where it sits at the moment. And you can see as you move up, how much is going to early contributors, how much is going to Series A and B investors, how much is going towards the community access program, how much is going towards stake subsidies, community reserves, locked contracts, or the Miston Labs treasury. So it is all laid out for you right here on CoinMarketCap. And this is the deal when you're talking about a token that did an ICO, that raised money. Yes, there are token unlocks that do go to different aspects of the ecosystem, and insiders are eligible to sell these at certain points and times. Okay, there was also a very similar argument made for Solana back in 2021 that the dilution and the token unlocks would hold it back from seeing a nice run up in the price, and clearly that was not the case. Okay, Solana was basically, coined to be one of those VC-backed tokens, and obviously it's a little bit different because of the whole FTX situation as well. But the point is that, yeah, there are ICOs and there are early investors that are eligible to sell at certain points. And this is all mapped out, and the SUI Foundation is basically saying that any sales are in line with the unlock schedule and with any sort of vesting, schedules that were made, and there is no other insider selling happening, and no selling happening, basically in violation of lockups or the circulating supply schedule. So really good of the SUI team to basically just respond to that head on and not let the FUD kind of spread on Twitter. And as SUI has been rallying, obviously there are a lot more eyes on the altcoin and on its ecosystem. So I do really like that the team just addressed this head on and pretty much disproved whatever was being said in that tweet. Now, is this tweet, is that tweet the reason why SUI is down here while the market is up? Or is it just some consolidation? Honestly, nobody knows the exact reason for this this sort of like cool off here on the day. I personally think it does just have to do with the fact that, yes, this altcoin has been a big outperformer. And it is just consolidating here as it has already run up over 100% on the month, while the rest of the market, the majority of the market anyways, has been pretty sideways or just slightly up. But SUI has been one of the biggest performers over the past month. And you can kind of see that visualized here on Crypto Bubbles. You have these meme coins, Arrow, Tau up 102%, and SUI up 122%. So to wrap things up, I do want to take a look at the chart as well. Now that we've kind of covered just the news segment and what SUI did in response to those allegations on Twitter, I do want to take a look at the charts and just take a look at this altcoin from a price perspective and just break down what I'm seeing on the candles. So for starters, if we actually take a look on the daily, I want to move us over to a daily here. We saw here that SUI broke right above this all-time high it put back in March at $2.18, made a new all-time high over the weekend at about $2.37. And something I've been saying that I do believe, could be bullish for SUI is actually for it to come on back and pull back test this prior high at $2.18, and then continue on its next leg up, especially if the rest of the market is going to move to the upside as well. Generally speaking, back tests of strong areas of resistance is bullish. It shows that buyers are now stepping in where once people were selling. Okay, so 218 was resistance there, and even on the daily here, you're gonna notice back on October 7th, it tried to break above 218, got rejected, came back down to $1.75, and then boom, broke out above that level. So a back test here and then a move higher would be a bullish look for SUI in my opinion. Now the downside scenario, if we do see SUI actually come back down to 218 and break down and not hold it as a level of support, the first one that I would personally be looking for would be at about the $1.75 zone, which this did act as some support here when we saw that pullback after it tried to break above 218, and below that I would be looking at the $1.51 zone. However, I have said on the channel multiple times that I am bullish on this altcoin going into 2025. That is why we have been covering it more here on the channel and will continue to do so as the ecosystem continues to evolve, and hopefully the price action develops to the upside as well. And that is why we have been covering it pretty frequently on the channel here and will continue to do so. So on that note, I hope you did enjoy the content in today's video. I hope you are all staying happy, safe, and healthy, and I hope to catch you in the next one. Peace out for now.